Hey everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Crys'Dawna. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button. If you're not new here, welcome back, friends and family. So today I have this piece behind me and it's just kind of a little oak cabinet. Actually here, let's turn it this way. So it's a little oak cabinet, nothing too crazy, nothing super special about it. But I am going to do kind of a Southwest feel to this. I don't know exactly all the things I'm going to use, so you're gonna have to watch the video in order to see, but that is my goal, or at least that's the only thing that I know I wanna do is do some Southwest colors, maybe some rust, things like that. So if you guys wanna see that, stay here. One of the things that I'm going to do on this piece is clean it really well. And then once I'm done cleaning it, I'm going to take a brown chalk paint and I'm going to mix it with Saltwash, which is a texture additive, and I'm going to add that to the entire piece. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to pour the brown paint in here. And I am going to kind of scoop over here so that we can clean it up. That way I can close it later. And I'm going to start putting this Saltwash in here little by little. So it's quite a bit, and there are directions on the Saltwash, but that's quite a bit because I want to cover the entire piece. So I am going to do one scoop in here first to start with. And then I mix it in, and you want to scrape the sides because it's almost like mixing a dry into a wet, like if you're baking, if you guys have ever done that. If you've baked before, then you know that the dry ingredients sometimes get stuck right here on the sides. And so you want to scrape the sides to make sure that you are mixing it properly. And if I go like this, it's still running off a little bit more than I want it to. So I'm going to add another scoop, half a scoop. I'm going to do half of a scoop. I'm going to put it in there. We're going to mix it in. What we're trying to achieve here is a brownie-like batter consistency. So that way it thickens up to where I can create those peaks when I stipple it on the piece. So this is still a little bit too runny. I did put a lot of paint in here, so I'm going to add just a little bit more texture. Now, if it gets too dry, you can add a little bit more paint, and if it's not thick enough, you just continue to add texture little by little. You can see it starting to thicken up a little bit. It's not quite falling off of there as easy as the other one, so I might add just a tiny bit more, maybe like a quarter of that scoop. And I think this is going to do the trick. Truthfully, this looks like brownie batter, right? It's brown anyways. Don't eat it, guys. But it's falling off a little bit so that I can have a little bit of play and work with it. So it's not too thick, but it is thick enough that it is going to create peaks for me. So this is perfect. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stipple it on the entire piece. Oftentimes people will ask me, you know, what do I do on the inside right here and on these lips? I do the same exact thing. So generally what I'll do is I'll take the doors off, and a lot of these European pieces, it's super easy. So here, I'll show you. So if we zoom out, you can see, and then what happens is you lift it up and it comes right off of the hinges. And then what I do is I add my texture on here, and I take the drawer out, add the texture on to the shell of the piece, and then I will put the drawers and doors back in. I don't always go over the hardware, but with these kind of finishes, I will paint the hardware because I want it all to be cohesive, and I want everything to be chippy and aged and all the things. So that is what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the drawers out, the doors off, and I'm going to stipple this on the entire shell. Once the body is completely dry, I'm going to take some salt wash and sprinkle it on the entire piece. There's some areas where I may put it a little bit thicker where I want that to come off, and then I'm going to spray it with water. So what's going to happen is that's going to dry, and then I'm going to paint over it. So when I scrape it off, you're going to be able to see that brown underneath. Now you may see some white when you scrape it off, but over time, once you brush it off with a brush or you seal it, that white will go away. Once it's completely dry, I am going to use the new color Maverick from my color line, and I'm going to put that at the bottom of this piece. So I'm going to put Maverick on the entire bottom. And again, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to pour your paint into a separate container because you may have some of that dry texture come off and you don't want to cross-contaminate. Then what I did is I took a red chalk paint and I am going over the center, and I'm going to go up onto the sides because my goal is to kind of make a orange, red, yellow piece of furniture. And so I'm going to add this red over top, and then in the center I'm going to add a mustard yellow color. I will allow this to completely dry, and then I'm going to take a paint scraper and I'm going to scrape all those areas with the dry texture so that way that brown shows underneath. Once I am done scraping it, I am going to add some dry texture again, just like I did the first process, because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to add, so these little areas will show the brown, and then when I do the dry texture again, I'm going to paint over that again, and it's going to show, you know, the yellows and the oranges and things like that. So it's going to have different colors popping through. This step, I am going to add the dry texture again, and I'm going to try to focus on the areas where there isn't those little white parts that we have scraped away. And that way, when we do scrape this next, it's going to have those other colors popping through. Now that it's completely dry, what I'm going to do is, if you see where the yellow is, I'm going to go over that with Maverick, because when we pull off, when that dries and we scrape that off, that yellow is going to pop through where that Maverick is. So that's why we're trying to choose a different color to go over the base color. So that way when we do scrape it after it dries, then we will have those different colors popping through. So this is Maverick. I'm going to go over the yellow. I am going to add just a little bit of yellow in there to keep that yellow, but it's not going to be enough to the point where we won't be able to tell the difference in colors once we scrape through. So we're going to add yellow over the red, and then we're going to add red in different areas. So that's what I'm doing right now, is focusing on just putting another layer of paint over this where it's different colors over the other colors. So what we're doing here is we are adding those colors and we're going to be blending. So I'm going to mist the surface and I'm going to add the yellow into the center. And then once I add the yellow into the center, I'm going to choose what my next color will be. The next color I'm going to use is the red chalk paint. So we're going to add that red and we're going to go up into where the yellow is because we want reds and yellows and we want this to kind of feel like, you know, a sunset or maybe some kind of southwest feel to it with the browns and the reds. And so we're adding this red chalk paint to the bottom, and then I wanted to add that little highlight of yellow, so I'm going to take the yellow and I'm going to add that to the bottom of the door. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it to the bottom of the door by stippling it. I'm going to take it at the bottom and paint it on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend those in together. So I'm going to add the red and I'm going to take the red brush and I'm going to blend it into the yellow. And these colors are going to blend really nicely. I'll go back up to the middle of the door and I'm going to spritz some water and I'm going to take my Maverick brush and I'm going to go to the center transition line and I'm going to lightly feather that so that I can blend that yellow and that red with my orange brush, and this is just going to add more. And then I'm going to take my yellow brush and just add a little bit with a dry brush, and this is going to add much more color and dimension. Once that's done, I'm going to go through and I'm going to scrape all that dry texture off again. I wanted to add a little bit of Living Light, which is the color, another color in my color line. It's a chartreuse that I thought would go really good with this, just kind of a subtle piece. So I'm taking a decor stamp by Redesign with Prima. I added some paint to the decor stamp and I'm just going to add it in a couple little places on this piece. Just, I don't know, I just felt like it would add just a little bit of character and then a little pop of a chartreuse green. I'm going to take my carbide scraper and I'm going to scrape this piece just to get any extra of those little dry texture pockets. Plus this is going to help expose a little bit of that brown texture underneath that we first initially had. And then also it's going to help me weather those stamps a little bit more. Then I'm going to take some Polyvine 2-part Crackle. You want to take the base first and you're going to put that wherever you want your Crackle. This kind of feels like a Elmer's glue, like a watered down Elmer's glue. So it is going to be sticky. Even after it dries, because it will dry clear, it is going to feel sticky. So you have to go over it with the second one or you're going to have areas where it's sticky. So now I'm taking the top one after that's completely dry, and I'm just going over that carefully. You don't want to overwork it because then it will not allow those areas to crackle. In those areas where it pulls up, just dab it so that you can get some of that excess off. The thicker you put it in areas, the bigger your cracks will be. So you want to allow this to completely dry. Now, your Crackle is not, it's going to be clear. So in order for it to really show through, you need to go over it with something, whether it be a wax. This company does have a second part where it's like a white or a brown where you can go over it, but I am going to use the brown chalk paint that we initially used. I'm going to spritz the area after it's completely dried. I'm going to put down the brown chalk paint. I'm going to continue to spritz the area because I'm essentially wanting this to be a wash. I want it thicker than a wash so that it can sit in those cracks where the Crackle is. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz it with water and take a microfiber cloth and gently pull it back. So essentially what this is going to do is it's going to add some dark in the cracks and crevices to age it. And it is also going to fill in that Crackle that we're using. And you're going to be able to see this here in a second. You'll also be able to see it in the videos, the ending videos, and some of the pictures. Once I'm done with this, I am going to take some dark brown pigment powder and just dab it underneath the handle, spray it with water, and allow it to drip down. It's after it completely dries. I didn't show this part, but I do seal this entire piece in. Okay, everybody, here is the piece. It is done. You can see it right here. I'm going to do some pan overs and close-ups of it so that you can really see the crackle and the aged look and some of the chippiness. So guys, until next time, happy creating, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city, let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty, with the wind blowing in your hair. We can look back someday, baby, don't you understand that we only get one life? I wanna make it count, honey, come on now and take my hand. Hey, darling, I love it when it's me and you, on the road with a couple of tunes in a car for two.